Do you remember your little girl?
At first, I didn't, but I'm getting to know her now.
Sisters, hey, little girl, are you looking for hope in the world that has lied to you about who you really are? Wrong woman, holding in story she needs to tell.
Welcome back to Staci Speaks Hope. As promised, I have a guest here with me today. I have a dear sister, Lavonne Murphy, who is willing to just give us a little bit of insight into the things that she's learning about her little girl as she's been watching the Staci Speaks Hope podcast and going through some of the healing steps of the No More Lies journal and workbook. Welcome, Lavonne. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. And hello to you as well.
So today, if you could share a little bit about your little girl, can you remember her? Let's just start with the basics. We started first of just saying, remembering your little girl. Do you remember your little girl?
At first, I didn't, but I'm getting to know her now. As I journey through life, I have seen some extraordinary things happen. I know as I was younger, I had trust issues and I was very guarded. I pretty much stayed that way for quite some time. I'm still a bit guarded, but knowing that I don't trust easily.
So happy to make available to you the No More Lies guided workbook and healing journal. Here's a quick peek inside that will help you get your own copy to see what we've been talking about and having a place to write your thoughts as you remember your little girl, identify the lies, find the truth, and then rehearse that truth so that you can walk into the purpose God has called you to. Go to stacispeakshope.com and order your copy today. Thank you and God bless.
Is what like triggered me to say, well, what was going on? Because I feel like I had a pretty average life for myself. And you're not supposed to trust people is what I was told. You have to keep one eye open and things of that nature. And so I went through life, doing that. But then there comes a point, like I said, maybe age, maybe just time for a change and discovering more of my purpose in life. It started to make me vulnerable. And it was uncomfortable.
Well, I commend you for just taking that step because it's uncomfortable. And as I have said, to get comfortable, be willing to be comfortable being uncomfortable is how we allow the Lord to help us to shift, come out of those places because you looked up. I just heard you say you looked up and you said, why am I like this? And do I want to continue being like this? And that's when you start to ask the question.
Yes.
Curious. Do you remember a time when your little girl, what you said you were taught to mistrust or to not just trust anybody? And that's valid. It's a safety thing, especially as a young girl.
Oh, yes. I go back to my upbringing. I was born and raised in the streets of East Oakland. In my younger years, it was average towards the 80s. As I became a young teen, things were different. And that's when, and I believe too, more so after puberty, is when, really had my guard up. The little girl, memory wise, I'm still working it to hear her or even see her. But I've gotten down to the teen, young adult little girl. And so with that being said, her trust issues, valid though. The trust issues were valid, but why were they there? And what was the lesson of, the mistrust? And that's what I say as I've gotten older. I'm starting to understand and navigate through what my eyes and expectations of people is kind of off. It's my world, and it's not so bad because my world, I feel like it's really cool.
But you like it's good enough for you,
right? And I mean, a couple of others. Well, a lot of others. And a couple of others. Well, a lot of others. If I'm being, if I'm being over vulnerable. So, but then that triggers, as I found out with my little girl, that also triggers from the little girl that took care of everyone. So she took care of everyone so that nobody had to trust anyone as I carried, Yeah. And so, it's a journey. I'm still in it. I still would say it's fresh because the transition, it took effect strongly about a year ago. But my real awakening started at 50.
Okay.
Yeah. God said,
that's amazing. Right there. Yeah. He said, come on. It's been reeling you in, huh?
So, but like I said, and that's the love of God, the vulnerability came. And hey, you feel like you can't trust nobody, but you trust. God said you trust me. So if you can trust me, you can give people an opportunity.
That's really good, Lavonne. That is good.
Yeah, thank you.
And going back, if your little girl was taking care of everybody else, you were protecting them. I heard you say, so they didn't have to trust other people.
Right.
You were that shield of protection so that their trust would not be betrayed.
Exactly. So it was a protective magnetism, but then it also, you can have a little of some, but you have to balance it. And that little girl didn't know how to balance.
Yes.
So overworked herself until she got up to say, well, hey, what about the woman? It's time for her to shine. So 2025 moving forward, God is paving the way for me to feel lighter and move forward more in my purpose that he has for me.
That's huge. And I love that you just acknowledged in that mode of taking care of everybody else and protecting them from their experience of not having their trust be broken. You also notice that in the imbalance, and this is where we say the lie comes in, and if you do it, it won't be done. But at the same time, you also notice that you had to take care of yourself, that you weren't taking care of yourself in the same way that you were doing for others.
And that
number 50.
That awakening happened at 50. And it was after all the past family members are gone. And now I would be the matriarch of the women of my lineage. So yeah.
So having fun, and Pat, you're accepting the new mantle.
Yes.
Being the matriarch.
Yes. And what it really is.
Say that again.
I said, and what the matriarch really is. And
that's
who
the
matriarch is for. Yeah.
Matriarch is for. That's
what and boundaries.
Tell me more about the boundaries.
That a queen sets. Yes. Yeah. Boundaries hurt sometimes. But they're protective of you. I've learned that, boundaries to me was like fear, if I set the boundary, then what's going to happen? What are they going to think? The people pleasing that you really don't recognize, that you're doing. You're like, I ain't trying to please people, but in a way you are, due to whether it's, family that you're vulnerable with, or a stranger, I'm working on that.
That's a beautiful work.
The boundaries, like I said, it's a chore because it's also setting yourself to a pattern that you're not used to. If you're used to saying yes all the time and you say no, it don't feel good at the first time, the situation, and all the outer reactions that you'll get when you want to make yourself happy, or when you want to set boundaries. So that's why I said it doesn't feel good, but I'm still pressing through. There's some boundaries I've set within my personal family circle that I've set with them, but it's a process because sometimes when you set them, they don't believe them. So they keep coming back, trying to get another way. And I'm now I'm having fun. In the initial, it wasn't fun. There was a lot of crying. There was a lot of anger. There was a lot of hurt and misunderstanding. But as I've been getting through, it's not about me. And I like that. I'm a part of it, and it's about me because I love you. But it's not my way to carry. And I can be okay with that because I don't feel responsible anymore.
That's good. So the shift, see, the lie was, I'm responsible for everything. And just to call these out, because we just go through going and doing what we think we're supposed to do, and we don't even acknowledge the lie that they are.
Mm-hmm.
And the lie that goes back to, you can't trust everybody as a kid. As an adult says, I got to take care of everybody because they can't trust anybody either.
Right.
That includes me saying yes to things I really don't want to say yes to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you go through life and you look up and you're tired.
Ooh, 50 years. Well, we can't say the whole 50 years because I don't remember the little girl. I want to remember that little girl that probably had a lot more fun, that was journaling and put into contests. And, that little girl, there's not much memory of. It came when I had to get in the grind and struggle and carry the weight, and then it went on. And so, yeah, that little girl, the teenager, didn't get to be a teenager. The teenager took on responsibility. Going to college, that was a big weight to carry because during the time I was in college, there was a sibling at home that wasn't in a good situation. And I brought the sibling to the college dorm and couldn't do that for too long. So part of the decision, besides the student loans, had me, forfeit college, and go home to care for my brother, who I'm very proud of, very successful at this point now, runs a business, has a family, owns real estate, so that part, knowing that, part of who I am got him there, I can feel good about, and I thought I needed validation at first. That's why the hurt was there and the anger, like, you ungrateful. I stopped my life, but now I can see what the fruits did, and now I'm able to blossom. I might be a late bloomer, but I will bloom. I have bloomed. I won't say I will, I have.
That's what I was going to say. You are blooming, and I have seen you and watched you over the years, and even today you are glowing.
Thank you.
As you share and reflect on these things. And that's why this work, this healing journey, is so important.
It is. I agree.
And
it's of us little girls and, little boys. As you said, yeah, there's the little boy, that needs to go back. And yeah, so I love that you have this. I love that you took your journey and that God gave you this vision. Because, I got on hands. That's my BFF, everybody. But no, I am very proud of you and very fortunate to partake in your ministry. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, anything you would share with someone who's just starting their journey?
Hold on. I can't lie, the journey ain't smooth. It's not smooth at all. But the reward is great. I'm shining. Maybe I should have had a before picture. But yes, the progress, I'm feeling great. Have me back in another year. See a whole nother picture, you know? Awesome.
Amen.
I appreciate you. Thank you for the opportunity. I made it through.
You did. This was beautiful.
Another challenge as well. Thank you.
And you rose to it. And that's what this is about. As we pull down the walls and the lies that our little girl had, and which has become a barricade, then look at the things we never try, the things we never do.
Yes, isolate yourself too when you don't trust in your garden.
Absolutely.
You know, when you feel betrayed. Yeah, you isolate yourself. And I was isolated for at least 10 years.
Wow.
I'm coming out of that as well. So yes, I am on the road with the journey now, and I'm excited.
Well, congratulations. Keep on it. And we will have you back. So grateful to just have had this time. So if you heard anything today that you like, audience, make sure you drop a comment on the video and just put journey. Just so we know you're with us. We know that you're doing this. Click subscribe, share with somebody you know that needs to hear what Lavonne shared today. And stay tuned till we meet again. Be blessed.
Amen.
Thank you for watching Staci Speaks Hope. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. To schedule a free coaching call, the link is in the description.
Sisters, hey, little girl, are you looking for hope? In a world that has lied to you about who you really are. Grown woman, holding in story she needs to tell what God really wants you to do in this world. In His name, hope to break free from the shackles and the lies that have become your truth and put blinders on your eyes. You built walls around your heart. You have plugged up your ears. Get freedom to hope's what you need. It's in reach. Wipe your tears.